Hey guys, Carlos Parra here. I actually just pulled into Walmart. I'm gonna go in there real quick and show you guys the type of line, hooks, and lures that I like to use when targeting snook. So let's go inside and check out what they got. So one of my favorite lures that I like to use while fishing at Sebastian Inlet is called the Zoom Fluke. These lures are actually very good, and I've caught more snook on these lures compared to any other lure while fishing at Sebastian Inlet. But my favorite color of them all, it has to be the bubblegum. So what I would usually do is just cut off an inch from the top and then put a jig head right through there. And I usually fish this on outgoing and incoming tides with a 60-pound leader. All I do is cast out and slowly reel it in. Another thing to look out for when you go to Walmart are these bins right here. Usually these Yozuri lures would be around $5. I would price check them just to make sure, but when I bought them in the past, they were $5, and they used to have a lot of bigger ones, but it doesn't seem like they carry those anymore. But this is a good color right here, and they have a good variety of colors that will be perfect for catching snook, and this is a great color right here as well. Another great lure by Power Bait is called the Pogie Swim Shad. These are very good paddle tails that I personally use. They're $5.24 at Walmart, and they'll be perfect right now to throw in a school of mullet during the mullet run. And they even have the smaller ones too. And these are very great lures to use. This is by far one of my favorite lures to use when fishing for snook. This is the Rapula XR10. And this lure is great for fishing for snook, honestly, believe me. They're around $10 at Walmart. They don't have bigger ones, but the best color that I personally use is the Ghost. I've caught so many snook off of this lure, it's not even funny. The sizes that I usually use are the 8, 10, 12, and 14, but the two sizes that I've caught more snook on are the 12 and the 14. Definitely get this lure in each color and you won't be sorry. So the number one line that I use is Power Pro and 40-pound test. I have 500 yards on my Van Stahl. I don't need 500 yards, but I do a lot of fishing at night, and you never know what you're going to hook up to, whether it's a snook, tarpon, or shark. So I like to make sure that I have a lot of line on there to fight whatever bites it while I'm fishing at night. So let's talk about leader. A lot of people will buy 55-yard spools of leader and then continuously buy them. To me, that's a waste of money. I would buy one 55-yard spool, and then I would refill that with a 300-yard spool, just like this. It's a lot cheaper that way, and believe me, you would save a lot of money in the long run if you do it this way. 40-pound test is what I usually use when I'm using live bait fish. Obviously, you can go higher or lower based on if you're getting cut off or not, and 30-pound is what I usually use when I'm using live shrimp. I'll use 50 pounds when I'm throwing lures at night. I'll also use 60 pound, which is my main go-to. And if I'm getting cut off, I'll sometimes use 80 pounds. But 100% of the time, I'm using 60 pounds. So when you're fishing for snook, it's essential to have the correct hook size, especially based on the bait that you're using. These are very good hooks by Gamakatsu. I'll use these 5/0 all the time. Mustad has good hooks too. I'll use these 6/0. I'll also use the 7/0. Basically, I'll get different hook sizes because you never know the size bait that you're going to cast at, especially during the mullet run. And it is essential that you have the correct hook size when you're fishing for snook. I can't repeat this enough. But definitely make sure you get these bigger ones because during the mullet run, there are big mullets out there, and you just want to make sure you have a big enough hook to put through them to catch these big game fish that are targeting them. So when I'm using live shrimp, I'll usually use these size 2 hooks by Mustad with a split shot and 30-pound leader. So definitely invest in these hush bubbles if you want to keep your bait alive. I've caught more snook on live bait compared to dead bait. So I would buy a couple of these, especially when you're using the cast net during the mullet run. You want to be able to keep all that bait fish alive. So definitely invest in the measuring stick. They sell them at Walmart, so you know whether or not you got a slot. If you got a slot, that's awesome. If you don't have a slot, you definitely want to know right away so you can hurry up and get it back in the water. Hey guys, so I just got back in my car. after going into Walmart, and I found two types of split shots, two different sizes that I usually like to use when fishing for snook, when I'm using live bait specifically. I'll show you them right now. So these are the sizes that I usually use. Unfortunately, I do not know the weight of them. I can always go home and weigh them, and then I can include that in the comments. But the smaller one I usually use for live shrimp, and the bigger one I'll use this if I need my mullet, pinfish, croaker, whatever type of live bait fish that I'm using, if I need to get this down because the snook are feeding at the bottom. So hey guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please comment on the video and I'll answer them for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and fish on.